What do you feel about that hitting the wall phrase?
I think it's an accurate depiction of a natural phenomenon. I think that women do reach a certain point in their life where their value, when I say value, I mean value in the eyes of men specifically, does decrease when they reach a certain age. In terms of fertility, obviously you're older, you're not as attractive, but also like you've had more life experience, and I think the majority of men want a woman that hasn't had a lot of life experience because they want to build that life with you.
A man ended a date as soon as the woman showed up because she uses filters on social media.
5 things I started doing when I turned 30.
If you're like me and you're in your early to mid 30s, you may have started to notice some changes happening here.
I've got 1 month left till my 20s are over. My body's not younger, but my brain isn't older.
Tell me how I'm 30
Maybe that's the problem.
years old, but I feel like I'm 20 until I actually hang out with a 20-year-old, and then I'm like, nope, I'm 30.
If you're in your late 20s, early 30s, and you're still single, and you are like, I swear I'm gonna be single forever, oh my god, blah, 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 I feel you.
Because it's my 32nd birthday, I'm going to share 32 life lessons.
Ladies who are over 35, do not despair.
A lot of girls, once they start pushing that 30 mark, they're like, okay, I gotta lower my standards a little bit because it's not working out.
We have that pressure of time and eggs, and I feel like society does a really good job of reminding us of that, that timeline.
Like always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
Right, and like once you hit 30, your eggs start shriveling.
So apparently there's this thing that sexist men on the internet say happens to women when we turn 30, and it's called hitting.
I think there are so many women in this sort of situation who end up single in their 30s who are amazing, and they don't seem to be meeting the right, well, you know, a guy that matches up to their level. But I think there's something to be said about the fact that when you are...
Yeah, the ones that settle end up getting divorced because they didn't get the guy that they wanted. And the ones that don't get married, that are still single, it's because they don't want to lower their expectations. They don't want to lower their level.
In your 30s and you have your own success and you've built your own life and you're independent, you don't need someone. So they have to be really, really special for you to want to actually invest your time in them.
Tired women, jaded women who hit the wall.
Women who have hit the wall. So I just wanted to briefly touch on this. Obviously, I'm on TikTok, but I have met so many nice women, and I'm so happy because even my one-to-one sessions, I've made so many friendships, and people are so nice here. But there is like a small minority of comments that say, I have hit the wall, I'm just here for money, I'm bitter, and I'm giving really bad advice to young women.
Older women, especially those that give advice and make money from giving dating advice, they all give bad advice.
So I just want to comment on that. I do not hate men, so it's quite the opposite. I really don't hate men. I honestly don't. And I just believe that if you are a woman with options, it's always best to go for the best option.
Into the first galactic empire.
52-year-old childless woman. I want to say to the people who think that a woman's worth is measured in her baby count, I mean, shout out to all the amazing mothers, but the childless women have been mothering the world and elevating culture as aunts, godmothers, teachers, mentors, sisters, and friends, and the list goes on, and you do not need to push out a baby to help push humanity forward.
Welp, they've lost it. I mean, they already lost it, but now I don't see a way out of it. Guys, welcome to another episode of Women Hitting the Wall Are in Total Denial. From single moms to those without eggs claiming to be the mothers of the West, to the Karens throwing soft drinks at the drive-thru window, women hitting the wall are possibly the best poster children for why asylums need to come back with force. Let's start off with some comments, fellas. I'm going to start using the term childless men since people think it's okay to use only for women reference. Ooh, we're shaking in our chairs. The eyes says it all. She's sad and having regrets. And the man is the only one who sees it. I'm shocked. So many scared men in this comment section fighting the war on motherhood because they're scared they won't be able to plant their seed anywhere. Just use a tissue, you know how. Scared? No. Concerned? Maybe, because the population is going to drop like an anvil in less than 100 years. But keep doing you, girl. Slay. Deep down, she's sad she missed the train. Well, she missed one train. Let's be honest here, my guy. I see my future self in her. My generation ends with me. Proud father, I'm guessing. Next clip.
Look at my hand. Do you think a guy could do that? Like, do you think a man could do that? I have this cup, like, balanced between my fingers. I don't have a grip on it, but I have a grip on it. You know what I mean? I have a book, that little pouch, my keys, my fat water bottle, like, all, like, in my hand. Like, a man could never do this. They can't do that.
If this isn't the best possible example of why participation trophies ruined this country, I don't know what is. Lady, pretty much everybody can do this, but we don't, because one wrong set and you're looking at coffee-soaked bills and lost car keys. You basically filled a glass of water, placed it halfway on the edge of the coffee table, and proceeded to claim that you deserve a Nobel Peace Prize. Seriously, if any of these chicks do anything more than breathe, suddenly it warrants a post or some kind of front-page news coverage. Here are the top comments. A man could, however, fit all that in his pockets. Truth. Gold star for you. She's so proud of herself, let her have this, she's clearly very insecure. I'm sure plenty would throw her a bone if she didn't receive so many already. Opens the comments and still sees her forehead. It's a wild setup, not gonna lie, maybe it should be studied. Men do that on a daily with both hands, that's why it's not on video. Yeah, man would use their brain and put their phone away and have an extra hand available. Shh, you're making too much sense, bro. The funniest part of these clips, though, is how these women behave when the clock strikes 30.
If I'm in my prime, right, why would I want a woman that's on her decline?
Decline?
Yes. Once a woman passes 30 years old, she is steadily declining. Let's just be all the way 1,000 here. From a biological standpoint, from a practical standpoint, she is declining. As men age, we get better with time. Men age like wine, women age like milk. Let's keep it all the way 1,000.
It doesn't shock me that this has to be explained over and over again until men are blue in the face. The propaganda machine was so damn powerful for a minute there that women started looking at the crow's feet and wrinkles, think about the TikTok they saw earlier, and walk out thinking that they were just as good as a 23-year-old athlete. Now, what does shock me is how those same women can continue to be rejected en masse and somehow still think the quote, right guy will come along. Wild. Here are the comments. Nah, he's right. We both get old. You do realize that, right? Just because a woman is no longer able to reproduce doesn't mean her value changed. Okay, this comment, this one right here, is exactly what I'm talking about. Lady, did you even watch the clip? Men don't age like wine unless they're Benjamin Button. Also, fertility in men drops drastically after 35, almost same rate as women, and this is research-backed. Good Lord, people. The point is, we still have fertility. That's the quote, research that really matters here. Women don't want to admit that he is right, they know that. Women always prefer an older man when looking for commitment and marriage. That's why you can be 50 as a man and marry a 24-year-old woman. We acquire wealth and maturity with time. The truth will set you free. Next clip.
You're a 35-year-old man, you see an 18-year-old girl that she can't drink, she can't legally do a lot of things at her age. She's just an adult. She can vote, sure. She could go into the army, whatever she wants to. She could do all those things.
So she's an adult.
but at 18, she can make decisions like that for her career and stuff. But as far as like,
but she can't determine who she wants to be with. She can just run the country. So she can vote to run the country. She can join the military. She can sign a contract. She can buy a house. She can do everything in the world except decide who she wants to date.
I didn't say she didn't have to. I just personally, I don't agree with that type of an age gap because she's literally fresh out of high school.
Yeah, but let's say high school. Let's say high school lasted until you were 20. Then would the fresh out of the high school thing, because that's good rhetoric, right, to say fresh out of high school. But if it lasted until you were 20, would you still say fresh out of high school?
No, you're 20.
Yeah, right. So the high school thing's not relevant here. It's not high school, right? The idea here is that you think that there's some kind of ick factor from you as to why this is icky. I get that.
She's just an adult. The discussion should have ended right there. This kind of thing has surfaced more and more as women hit the wall in record numbers. Knowing that the time is up, they desperately try to flip the script in the hopes that society will bend to their will, but that ain't happening. The fact is, they only do this because they feel threatened by time, and they see the opportunity that they should have seized slipping away. If that selfish motive didn't exist, it wouldn't even be a point of conversation. Here are the top comments. This from girls who think a 3-year-old can decide to take hormone blockers. Oh, he said it. But most 18-year-olds have already got triple-digit body count. Damn, Rob, save some for the rest of us. So can an 80-year-old man marry a 60-year-old woman? I'm not agreeing or disagreeing, just simply asking. Dude, yeah. She can vote. I prefer minimum 23, 24, but I don't frown upon guys who date 18-year-olds. They are legal, they are grown. 35-year-old man has nothing in common with an 18-year-old girl, and trying to justify dating her is a concern. Okay, now we're just splitting hairs here. Next clip.
Watching my ex thrive, it's a beautiful thing, but it's really triggering for me because I walked away with literally having to start over after 12 years of starting over, of wondering if I'm going to be able to keep a roof over my head with my boys and not being able to just go out and play in our backyard like we used to. And wondering if I'm going to be able to feed them.
The problem that I have with this is that when you decide to no longer be in a relationship with somebody, they do not owe you for their successes from the time that you stopped being with them on. Outside of what they owe you for potentially justified alimony and child support, you cannot get mad that that man is successful without you because you're not his future, so he does not owe you the future rewards.
You barely saved the statement by saying potentially, sweetheart, but the rest is valid. We saw this one a minute ago, but it perfectly fits the list here, and there's a fresh take to come along with it. These women aren't just losing their minds because of the feminist message, they're losing their minds because that's just what happens with women when they reach a certain age. Their hormones are on overdrive, and they start to treat every feeling so seriously that they shamelessly shut the family they have down, only to regret it when men do what they do best, bounce right back. The comments are, he started over also, not that men's pain or struggles ever really mattered. Cheer up, bud, you got this. Men will sacrifice their own happiness and personal freedom for their family. Women will sacrifice their family for their own happiness and personal freedom. It's feminine nature in a nutshell, and yet they've been given a share of the wheel. God help us. She is trying to make everyone feel bad for her mistakes. I don't feel bad for her, and you never should. Initiates divorce, cries about it when he thrives. Too funny. Damn, if it isn't the consequences of your actions. That's the wall tax, all right. Moving on, fellas.
I just met up with my ex-husband to exchange our son, and I found out that my toddler has been calling my ex-husband's new wife Mama.
I don't know why she's so upset, guys. Isn't it admirable in their camp to be the one that stepped up? I'm at a loss here. Sarcasm aside, it's always funny to me when women try and claim full ownership of their children when they've done nothing but curb their progress at every turn with their progressively violent mood swings and endless projection. I also find it funny, as does everyone else, when her roles are beautifully reversed in a complete 180, and then women still simply cannot comprehend why the opposite would be so unfair. Ma'am, you've been served. The comments are, the ex-husband's new wife is a good woman. Hopefully. Exchange our son. That's why the other lady is Mama. Excellent point. It's always a good move to look at the language used in these crazy rants. Because it turns out, kids need a stable dad a lot more than they need a stable mom. Don't at me, just check crime stats. My stepson from my ex-husband still calls me mom. His mother is not upset, we have a good parenting relationship. Sure you do. Speaking as a divorced mom, I would not want my children calling another woman mama, and she, the father, should not encourage the children to do so. They should explain to the children that this woman may love and care for them, but she is not their mother. They have a mother, and calling someone else mama is disrespectful to the woman who gave birth to them and loves them very much. We got one. Next clip.
Love is unimportant, and at your age, you should really know that.
So what's important at my age?
What's important is stability, predictability. A man who is rational, a man who is disciplined, a man who can ensure the most important things for you. And then in the context of that relationship, you will find your greatest joys. Do you like to travel? You can travel now. Do you like to be stress-free? You might not have to work. Do you like being loved? He's going to give you love, and that child's going to give you pure love. Do you want to be provided for in your old age? Because the government won't take care of you, and Social Security won't pay enough. And by the time you need Social Security, it won't even exist. I promise you that. Because the system is already upside down financially, and America's in more debt than it can repay. Historically, the children are the ones who take care of you, the parent, when you're in old age. Did you know that? So what do you think about you going and being 80 years old? You want to be in that nursing home by yourself, nobody comes to visit you?
You can see it in her eyes. She didn't hear a damn thing. Most women can't think that far ahead. Women only think in the now. They demand happiness now. Men are the ones who have to have an answer for where will my family be in 10, 15, 20 years. Preach, preacher. I love how you cook her on both sides, front and back. This guy don't miss. It's in that moment she realized she messed up. One would hope, but the stats say otherwise. Next clip.
Now, you said you're a representative of women. You're a leader of women. Fantastic. Leaders are always under scrutiny because we want to know that you are somehow better off or superior, or your thinking, philosophy, and methods have yielded greater outcomes than the average person, which gives you merit for actually teaching them. Now, understand this. If you are a woman who can't even maintain a meaningful relationship with the father of your child, you failed in romance.
Whoa, hold on. No.
You don't. You hold on. It's not your turn.
No, because you don't get to paint a false narrative, sir. Sir, you don't get to paint a false narrative.
No, you will get a turn. It's just not your turn now. And you should have taught your kids that, to take turns. I'm going to stop talking and then you can speak. It's not your turn right now. Be silent. And guess what? When you're talking, I'm going to take my turn to be silent. All right? Now, you're trying to step out as the leader of women and you failed at marriage. Marriage is supposed to be till death do us part, and it appears you're still alive. So you failed at that. You're no example of romance. Furthermore, on a financial level, if you want to teach women, one of the most meaningful things to teach anyone in this land of opportunity is finances, and you've not excelled at that. And then if you look at education, you're just now getting a degree and you're creeping into menopause age. So you failed at that. So the fact is, you...
Finally, a guy that's able to talk over this woman. It's exhausting. Here are the top comments. He is absolutely right. She is not a leader in my eyes and shouldn't be for women. She is going to keep women single and continue the cycle of a broken home. Kevin Samuels ain't dead no more. And you're creeping into menopause age was the headshot, LOL. You're still alive, so you failed at that. Truth is triggering her badly. When it comes to women hitting the wall, it always does. Next.
Oh my goodness, you're hella gorgeous. You want these flowers?
And you're not even that cute, and you're weird.
What?
Always give the people a laugh after the frustration. That's the move. The comments are, jealousy is a hell of a thing. She's a hater. Age will do that to them. She thought she was the main character, LOL. She's jealous because she wasn't given attention. Don't be like her. That was rude. Was it though? I hope that was faked because that was just terrible for that girl to act like that. Jason, welcome to the world of aging women. Some of these can be staged, but the fact is this happens every day. The only accountability these chicks can't avoid is the clock. And if you made it to the end of this video, I want to say I appreciate you. So don't forget to hit that like button, drop a comment to have a chance to win, and hit that subscribe button for daily videos. And if you could take a quick second to subscribe to the second channel, Man Guide Reacts, link is down below in the description, so we can be sure that our message will keep on reaching the new men out there. I appreciate all the support, y'all.